As the 2019-2020 NBA season starts, we just witnessed the end of a dynasty, and that was the Raptors dethroning the ex-world champions, the Golden State Warriors, who have clearly been a dynasty for, we can say, the last 5 years. Now, in the last 30 years, can you believe that only 11 teams have won the championships? So we're going to take a look at the dynasties and which team was more dominant than all the rest. The link for this article will be in the description. So, how many true dynasties has the NBA had in the last 30 years? As you can see right there, there's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant going at it 101. So in the past 30 years, just 11 teams has won the NBA championships, but how many true dynasties were there? Okay, we got a lot to think about here. So before the Warriors, you had Kobe Bryant's Lakers, you had LeBron, D-Wade in the Miami Heat, you had Popovich Spurs with Duncan. A lot to think about here. So let's start with the greatest and probably everyone's top dynasty of all time. The 91 through 98 Bulls. Michael Jordan's Bulls. Can't argue with this one. We all know one of the strongest points in Jordan's best ever argument is his 6-0 finals record. Doing so without being forced to a Game 7 should not go unnoticed either. In a 24 playoff series during the 6-year stint, the Bulls faced 2 Game 7s and only one came in the conference finals, and that was against the Pacers in 98. The Bulls flexed both the regular season 78.9 regular season win percentage and the postseason 77.6%, highlighted by regular season win totals of 72 and 69. Wow. So that 72-10, 95 and 96 squad finished with a 15-3 postseason run, capped by a 4-2 victory over the Supersonics. They finished first in both offensive ratings and defensive ratings in the regular season. It just was perfection. Like, I have never witnessed something, and I got a chance to see this on television. So people, if you saw this, it was something like no other. You had Pippen, Jordan, Horace Grant, Phil Jackson with that triangle, Dennis Rodman going crazy as usual. MJ was a 9-time all-defensive first-team selection. Rodman provided low post defense. So Jordan's Bulls deservedly carried the dynasty destination after the most impressive streak of post-season success in the past 50 years. So that could easily be the most dominant dynasty of all time. So then we talk about Shaq and Kobe from 2000 to 02. Now, this team of Bryant and O'Neal, and of course Phil Jackson was the coach of this team as well, went on a three-peat beginning in 2000. So the Lakers won 67 games from 99 to 2000, their second highest total in franchise history. In 2001, the Lakers would win just 56 regular games, but would nearly finish undefeated in the playoffs. And it took AI to keep the Lakers from a perfect record. So this has to be up there with the top dynasties of all time, because that consecutive championships, just, you don't see that. Probably won't ever see it again. So 03-07 Spurs, you got Tim Duncan, of course, 22 consecutive playoff appearances made by Popovich and the Spurs, and the most consistent winners in recent NBA history, led by Duncan. Captured 5 titles in 6 tries. So if it wasn't for the Heat, they probably would have been accomplished that feat, but Duncan replaced the Admiral, David Robinson, as the franchise best player during a run that included 15 All-Star games, 15 All-NBA selections, 15 All-Defensive teams, and of course the run included Kawhi Leonard at the end, and also Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. So the pair would combine for 8 All-Star nods, 6 All-NBA selections, 1 Finals MVP, and 1 Sixth Man of the Year award. So that also can be considered a dynasty, and the way that it was spread it out, and how the Spurs had that formula of winning is just unteachable today. Now, we could talk about Kobe and Paul Gasol and Lamar Odom. This is after the breakup of Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe during the 2004 finals. These guys would come along and they would win 2 titles in 2009 and 2010 after falling to the Celtics in 2008. Now, this is when Kobe would enter his name into the greatest ever conversation because he had 18 All-Star appearances, 15 All-NBA finishes, 12 All-Defensive Team placements, 1 MVP, and 2 Finals MVPs. So this would put a very impressive resume, but compared to the other teams, they wouldn't be considered the best of all time this dynasty. So let's talk about the LeBron James, D. Wade, Bosh, Ray Allen. We know this is the first time that we have seen 3 players of this caliber just link up off season and say we're going to play together. And they do it, and they win back-to-back titles in 2011 and 12, and also from 2012 to 13. And they dismantled KD, Westbrook, Harden, and Serge Ibaka first. So now this team here was really good. So almost to a point where I think we probably saw LeBron at his peak. You could say that. But the Heat won consecutive titles, but may be remembered for their collapse at the hands of the Mavericks in 2011 as much as Ray Allen's 3-point shot in 2013. Now, the Cavs team from 2015 to 2018, this team here be considered a dynasty on the strength of knocking off the Invincible Warriors in 2016. And this team made 4 straight finals and may have won it all then the once, if not for the Golden State teams. But this kind of put LeBron up there as being on the greatest of all time list. And then it also put Kyrie Irving up there as a superstar. So you can probably tell, but this is not the greatest dynasty of all time, but it would have been closer with 2 titles over Golden State, but they couldn't get the job done. They did bring 1 home, and they did turn around that 3-1 deficit in the playoffs. So now let's talk about the 2015 to 2019 Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, then added on KD Warriors. This team just kept getting better and better after winning a record 73 games in 2015, 2016, but falling to LeBron and the Cavs. This likely would have been a dynasty even if KD never came. I mean, they had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and the bench was full of players like Livingston, Bogut, and a lot of more. And with a healthy KD, it wasn't even fair. So they steamrolled their way to consecutive titles in 2016, 2017, and then 2017 and 2018. And then in the 2017-2018 Western Conference Finals, they were tested against the Rockets and they prevailed. So we all know what happened this year. KD got injured. Klay got injured, as well as DeMarcus Cousins, and they lost to the Raptors. Golden State, to this point, will be considered probably the greatest dynasty of the last 30 years. Now, it's a toss-up between that Bulls team with MJ, Rodman, and Pippen, but overall, it seems like you have to give it to Golden State. Like this video, leave your comments, share this on social media, and subscribe later.